The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Earnestly podcast coming to you on September 22nd, 2021. This episode is going to be a little strange here because, first it'll be a load episode. And also, in addition to doing our usual EJ versus Degenerate on the back end of the show, we're going to start also adding our weekly power rankings. If you follow me on social media, of course, you've noticed that I always do my Power 10 bottom 5 every single week on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, sometimes too. But my buddy Mike, who also co-hosts the wrestling podcast with me, Take 3 Wrestling Podcast, asked me if we could do this in podcast form and just debate every week. It's 20 minutes a week, no big deal. So I said, yeah, it's not a problem. We should do that. And I think it's pretty cool. So we're going to do that every week starting now. So here's Mike The Squid Bernier, who's my co-host on Take 3 Wrestling as well. And then we'll have on the Degenerate, Zack himself, as he did win week number 2 this week, unfortunately. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. Quick notes. The recording with Zack, actually, it sounds a little not as good as normal because, unfortunately, I had issues with my mixer, no technical issues with my mixer or my computer, whatever it may be. So we had to do that portion of the podcast over the phone, like old school. I haven't used that recorder on my phone in about 5 or 6 years. So, but like I said, at least we got the content out. And it's all good and all that. So here is Mike first, and then Zack. So enjoy the episode. Okay, we're just a little different this week. We're gonna start doing every week, throwing in this segment, bringing back the power rankings, debating it. But I want to debate it with our guy Mike Bernier, who's also my co-host on the Take 3 Wrestling Podcast. Hello. This is your idea. You actually came up with this idea last week. Say, hey, let's just do a podcast every week and just fucking debate this because people get their fucking feelings about power rankings, and I kind of like that.
They do.
I like it.
They do.
I don't get it.
Like every Dolphin fan that was like, hey, where's our love after week 1? The same place that it was after week 2 after your 35-0 loss, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I think we were all. I think the shipment right. I think honestly, look at this week. And maybe I don't know if you feel the same way about this, but I feel like there's a lot of course correction this week after week 1. A lot of things that happened in week 1. I was like, oh wait, is that real? And then okay.
There's a couple things that are still questions that I have. It's why the Carolina Panthers didn't make my rankings this week. Is Sam Darnold for real? He's been playing out of his fucking mind.
Yeah.
Are they prototypical of the same Carolina Panthers where they're one Christian McCaffrey missed game from being 2-6? I mean,
right.
They've done the little things right. They beat the teams in front of them, including beating a Saints team that pretty much put it all on the fucking Green Bay Packers. So yeah, there's a couple questions still left, but there's a couple of solutions that have been formulated. Yes, the New Orleans Saints are human. Jameis Winston is not going to be Florida State Jameis Winston. He's back to being fucking Tampa Bay Buccaneer Jameis Winston.
Yeah. Yes.
So I mean, I look at it from that perspective that there's been some writings of the ships as we get into week number 3.
Okay, let's go 10-1 with debate number 10. All right, number 10, what do you got?
I have the Teddy Bridgewater-led Denver Broncos in the 10th spot this week.
Likewise.
I love what Teddy's doing there. I thought he was a great acquisition. I thought he was the better quarterback than Drew Lock. And they're doing the little things. Their defense is stepping up. Their offense is getting just enough done. But they're a team that could very easily plummet in this rankings real quick if Teddy's play starts to tail off a little bit.
I will say as much. I have 10 as well. I will say as much, though they played 2 shit teams out the gate. My Giants, the Jaguars. 2 road games. I don't care what you say. You win 2 games in a row like that out the gate, you got to get some tension.
Hey, and breaking news, guess what? They're going to play a 3rd shit team because the Jets go there this week.
Jets going to Denver.
To Denver.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I want to see. Obviously, we want to see more, but at this point, they deserve to be number 10. Cause, and another thing too, also, they beaten those said teams the way you're supposed to. If you're a good team and they're bad teams, beat them the way you're supposed to. Stop points kind of matter in rankings, to be honest with you.
Correct. I agree.
Number 9.
I have the Lamar Jackson-led Baltimore Ravens. it's the Lamar Jackson show 24/7 there. They lose 3 running backs, and Lamar Jackson's pretty much doing everything.
Mm-hmm. Number 9 for me, the Packers. I debated even whether or not I should bring them back in the list, but I would believe last year was an anomaly. I do think that long term they're going to be fine. They're going to win the North, and I think they'll still be in the conversation for being one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the NFC. So I don't want to overreact to last week's Saints game because obviously we saw the Saints what they did this weekend. So maybe it was again course correction.
It's one of those where I could see. I left the Packers off of my list, but that was more because of while they did come back and get the win against the Lions, they looked very pedestrian in the first half, and they were able to make the second half adjustments to pull away from the Lions late.
Right.
I need that offense to get out of second gear. I mean, Aaron Jones was in fourth gear, but Aaron Rodgers seems like he was still in second gear.
Yeah.
He missed a couple of normal Aaron Rodgers dump-in passes that would have been touchdowns that would have made this thing 49-7. But get it out of second gear for everyone not named Aaron Jones, and I feel like this team will be going up the power rankings very quickly.
Right, fun story for listeners out here real quick. Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers, fuck those guys, number 1. I was up 71 points going to the Monday night game this week, and I was done for the week, and my opponent had both those guys, and I lost, so yeah, by 1 point.
Get wrecked.
Fuck,
Get wrecked.
Motherfucker. Anyway, number 8. What you got?
Surprise here to many when they talked about what this team was going to do in the beginning of the regular season. The 2-0 San Francisco 49ers. Their defense is playing really well. They're getting enough out of Jimmy Garoppolo, and basically now they're in the same spot that the Ravens are in, where every running back that they have is hurt in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be a real test this week for the Niners. But I do give them a little bit of credit here for getting out to 2-0, beating Philadelphia on the road after Philly decimated Atlanta the week before. They made that offense look very pedestrian. So kudos to Garoppolo and that Niners defense.
Maybe me a dick here, right? They're in my top 10 this week. Maybe me a dick because last week they fucked my parlay up. Probably. But number 8 for me is the Baltimore Ravens. Big. I mean, look, they punched off the game against KC, but the fact they came back in that game and they should really be 2-0. Honestly, they should won that Raiders game last week on Monday Night Football. They really should win that game.
Yeah, they should have. That was they lost that game themselves. For some reason, Lamar tried to do too much.
Yeah. And
that was the week where we saw Lamar trying to do too much sometimes is a bad thing, and then we saw this week Lamar trying to do too much was a good thing.
Yeah. I love the way he played this weekend. All right.
I feel like you have to live and die with that because of who Lamar is. He is your franchise. He is the guy that you want the ball in his hands because they ain't got a running back to run the ball.
That's right. All right, number 7. Who's yours?
Hold on. My thing froze. Number 7, I have the 35-0 victors of Saturday's ass whooping, the Buffalo Bills.
Wow. Horrible weekend for Hard Rock Stadium. Canes on Saturday. The Dolphins on Sunday. What the fuck? Not good.
I mean, not good at all. Kudos to the Bills. They played their asses off. Josh Allen, again, running around like a madman and finding the guys that are open. And I know Tua getting hurt didn't help the situation, but that wasn't going to matter. 35 points.
Wouldn't matter. Yeah. By the way, I also had the Bills number 7 as well too. Josh Allen didn't play that great. He was okay. I mean, the Bills' defense really was the MVP of this game.
Correct. Absolutely. But Josh Allen is one of those guys where he's literally running around creating time. Like the touchdown to Stephon Diggs early in the first half, where he scrambled 8 yards to the outside, juked 3 guys out, and then ran back to the inside and threw it 12 yards. That's plays that most quarterbacks aren't going to make. His ability to keep plays alive. You don't see it in the box score because it only goes as a 12-yard touchdown. But he ran 20 yards to make that possibility.
All right. Number 6.
Number 6 is feeling dangerous. Give me the Cleveland Browns with Baker Mayfield at quarterback. He went out early in Sunday's game and was able to come back.
Okay.
Got through an injury. I'll take the Browns at 6. The two-headed monster of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And, they're doing this all without Odell Beckham.
Yeah, that's true. I went different here. This team I penalized a little bit because they were number 4 last week on my list. Arizona Cardinals.
How do you penalize a team that won?
Well, I mean, you know, they missed field goal. They really missed field goal away from losing that game against Minnesota. Great game, though, I'll tell you that much. By the way, Kyler Murray MVP right now, 2-game sample.
Oh, too early for that.
Again, I recorded a podcast earlier today. I said the same thing to Lori for that. But if you're doing 2-game sample MVP, it's Kyler Murray, Tom Brady, and Derek Carr.
Ugh.
No?
Ugh. Derek Carr.
Derek Carr, he's playing great.
Speaking of Derek Carr, I have the Raiders at number 5.
Nice segue, buddy. Nice segue. Dude, impressive, though.
They have been impressive through 2 weeks. They've gotten this offense figured out. Derek Carr loves him some Darren Waller, and that's okay with me because I have Darren Waller in a fantasy league or two. So
there you go.
I am okay with that.
Yes.
He had a little bit of a down game from the monster that he put up against Baltimore. But Pittsburgh normally plays well against the tight end. They always have. Derek Carr, though, I think the problem he's going to run into, Josh Jacobs is dinged up, so it's who's there? Kenyon Drake was the running back.
Yeah.
That game was specifically won by the defense because they, outside of I think like Henry Ruggs and Darren Waller, I don't know how deep the Raiders are at the receiver/tight end spot.
Right.
So it's one of those where if you lock down those two guys and make somebody else beat you, like as long as you can score on the Vegas' defense, you may have a shot to win a game.
Well, it's good for you. You got Waller, so they get all the snacks. All the snacks.
I do. I get like 12 catches a game. I'm like, oh yay.
That's right. Take it.
Hey, look, he's open.
Number 5 for me, I got the Cleveland Browns.
Feeling dangerous.
Yeah, you know, it's a bounce back game. Got a little worried too. It's like, okay, so KC game, like, look, you know, it's a good loss, if you want to call that. But then you have Houston hanging around for 3 quarters. Like, that's a little strange.
Yeah, it's a little awkward. But I know that they hung around early because of the injury to Baker. But then Tyrod Taylor gets hurt, and I don't know if that was really what separated this game was Houston going to David Mills, potential son of General Mills owner.
Oh,
I don't know.
Well, now that's the question now, though. Is Houston better than we thought they were? I mean, 2 weeks, obviously, that you can make the case, but again, you said 2 weeks sample ain't shit.
Nah, I don't know that I'm all in on Houston being better. I just think that they've caught a couple breaks. You know, obviously beating Jacksonville. We'll get to them in our bottom 5 conversation, obviously, but
yeah. I'll tell you right now, they're out of my bottom 5. They're not my bottom 5 this week, so congrats to you.
No, Houston is not in mine either.
Excellent. Okay, number 4.
I have the defending AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, you penalized them. Oh, my God. I thought I was bad.
So through 2 weeks, what's the biggest takeaway here? It's not that their offense can't score. Mm-hmm. It's that they can't stop anyone.
That's kind of been a problem for a couple of years, though, right? That's been pretty much been the MO on the Chiefs anyway. It's Mahomes or bust.
It has been, but at times they've been able to get defensive stops.
Right.
They weren't stopping Lamar on Sunday night, and they let Baker just kind of throw it around for 3 quarters, and then Baker beat himself in the 4th quarter, trying to get cute with some throws and squeezing in tight windows when there are open targets. There's a bigger problem here this year than there has been in the past. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because everybody knows that if you can keep up with Kansas City offensively, they're not going to stop you defensively.
It's a fair point. I'm going to go and sit on 4. Their neighbors in the AFC West. We just mentioned the Las Vegas Raiders. Al Davis, rest in peace, of course. Dude, I mean, look, you win. Your first 2 wins are against the Ravens and the Steelers. That's impressive. I don't care who you are. You win on Monday Night Football in emotional against the Ravens. Then you go on a short week to Pittsburgh, who's arguably the best defense in football.
And they just beat Buffalo.
Right.
On the road.
Just saying. So, that got some love there. So, they made a big jump from like not being in the top 10 to now top 5. So, Raider Nation should be very impressed with us. Just saying. All right, number 3.
I have your most valuable player here in the 3 spot. I'm taking the Arizona Cardinals. because I don't think there's anybody in football that can stop this offense right now.
Dude, Kyler Murray's so good. That throw made to his left. Did I text you after that play? I think I might have. That dude's fucking incredible.
So when you looked at this team on paper offensively, and you're like, all right, Kyler Murray's like 4'7", cool. Old ass James Conner at running back, mixed with Chase Edmonds being your pass catching back, and then you're looking at the receiver, and you're like, obviously DeAndre Hopkins, like
yeah, he's that guy. Yeah. He's that guy.
AJ Green, former Bengal, gotta love it. But AJ hasn't been great in Arizona through 2 games. It's been Christian Kirk and Ronald.
He just scored one though.
But it's been Christian Kirk and Ronald Moore.
Yeah.
Are like slicing and dicing people up. Like when you're getting contributions from those 2 guys, and you have AJ Green with like 1 touchdown catch going, "What's up, guys?" And you have DeAndre Hopkins sitting over there going, "I'll take my 15 catches a game." But they're literally just going to torch you the whole game. Like you better have 14 healthy safeties that are really good, because if not, you're going to get torched.
By the way, Kyler Murray is shorter than Joe Lopez, just for the record.
Yes,
that's he's doing the shit. Unbelievable. Number 3 is I'm gonna go to Chiefs. I'm not gonna do him too much here. I'll give him a ding here. Just because the fact that they should be penalized for losing that game because the number one they blew a fairly big lead, but they should win that game. You know, had they won the game, they're number 2. So I mean, and they lost the game on a fumble. So just that simple. But long term they're fine. They're gonna win the West. I mean, things like I said. We're going to get a lot of course corrections in the weeks to come. And this is one of those things they'll be fine, number 3. So,
I agree.
So, I got a question, Mike. Who does number 2 work for?
The Los Angeles Rams.
Me too.
Yeah, that team. How much of a difference is Matt Stafford over Jared Goff?
I'm telling you.
It's huge.
Yes.
That dude is chucking the ball all over the place. Cooper Kupp's like a fucking ball magnet. I will say this. It's funny. We had a draft here at my house for my league, and I tried all draft to get Craig to take Cooper Kupp. No, they got too many targets there, this, that, and the other. I'm like, dude, Matt Stafford is a certified slot-throwing machine. All he's going to do is find the short white guy in the slot and throw it to him.
Kupp,
no, I think we should go something else. And Cooper Kupp's got like 96 catches through 2 games. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Come on now. Let's go. I got Rams number 2 as well. Like I said, I'm impressed.
That defense has actually been really good, too. Like, you have to give credit to that defense.
Well, not only that, now with a quarterback, they're actually motivated now. So they got Aaron Donald now with motivation. Oh, come on now.
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
So that's yeah. The Rams, and I'll say it again, Stafford, not yet, but I expect at some point by the end of the year we talk about him as MVP.
I can see it.
Yeah. And finally, number 1. This will be fucking easy.
Yeah, the defending champions. They're just fucking... Tommy's throwing it to everybody. You're all open. Throw it to him.
It is so not fair how good he is still. Again, it's not that he's still playing football. That in itself is amazing at 44 years old. He's still a fucking elite quarterback at 44 years old. That's the issue. That's the thing people don't get. He's still a top 5 quarterback in the league. Probably top 3 at this point.
I'd definitely say he's in the top 5.
Yeah.
You could put him in the conversation for top 3.
Yeah. But 44 years old, that's still kind of like out of this world. So
yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I also have to have the Bucs number 1 as well too. Like I said, there are some concerns I will say on defense, for example.
Yeah.
But I think when you have that offense, you have space to.
Bigger question is them potentially bringing in Richard Sherman more of a headache or a fucking help?
A help. I think Sherman will figure it out. Sherman's fine. I mean, you never hear Sherman being a locker room bother. He talks.
Except for his last year in Seattle.
Yeah, but the situation in Seattle that year, I mean, anybody will tell you that was a strange year for that team in general.
Yeah, that deteriorated real quick.
Yeah, I don't think he was the main reason they were an issue. I think this is the whole team in general was just falling apart.
They were in shambles.
So, but he was a good citizen in San Francisco. So I think he'll be okay. He's playing with Tom. Tom got this. If Tom can massage Antonio Brown to normalcy again, then why can't he do to Sherman? And Sherman ain't that bad.
How bad does that make Ben Roethlisberger as like a quarterback that he couldn't get fucking Antonio Brown's head back on straight?
Well, we already know Big Ben is a great talent, but we know he's not a great leader. That's something. Is
he too busy raping?
That's a way in the show right there. He's better now, isn't he? I thought he was better.
Allegedly.
Okay. Anyway, that's so.
He is the quagmire of the NFL.
Anyway, you can catch Mike out, of course. Well, both of us, but especially Mike.
Are we not going to talk about the bottom five real quick?
Oh, yeah, five. Go ahead. Run it down. 20-32.
At 32nd, I have the Atlanta Falcons. God, they're awful.
32, I got the Jaguars.
31, I have the New York Football Jets because Zach Wilson looked like dog shit on Sunday.
31, the Falcons.
30, the Detroit Lions because they couldn't score in the second half.
30, the Jets because they're the Jets.
29, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Really?
I like them better than fucking Zach Wilson and fucking Jared Goff right now.
I got my guys on 29.
I have your guys at 28. Tough loss on Thursday night, but the thing is from where they started the season, they're trajectorying in the right direction in some aspects, but ball management, you're still trajecting downwards.
Speaking of balls, 28 got the Lions. I mean, they were in that game a little bit last night, and they came back as San Francisco. I gave them some. There's definitely. We all agree that the five worst teams in the league are definitely the five. You interchange where you want, but
yeah,
you get
exactly.
the same five. Definitely not Houston, not Cincy, not no.
Not the Bears, not anybody that's sitting at the 1-1 mark. Definitely, you can't really put any of those teams in there.
This is trash, and these five are trash. You place them, you want to place them, it's still trash.
Yeah, I'm excited to see though as these teams start, playing other teams that aren't like top flight guys. I mean, Atlanta did go through Philadelphia. Who did they lose to this week?
Tampa.
Okay, so they lost to a 1-1 team and the defending champion.
I did call it move a little bit because they were in that game against Tampa.
What, for like the first fucking half?
No, the fourth quarter, they were down by 5.
No, Ryan threw 2 pick sixes in that game.
Yeah.
Ball management, buddy. Ball management.
Yeah, then Matt Ryan became Matt Ryan, age 36. I could be 36 years old. I thought he was a little younger than that. Shit, time flies.
Dude, he's been in the league for 930.
No, I know, I get that, but I look at Matt Ryan as like the.
I thought Matt Stafford was older than he was. That's how bad my brain works.
Stafford came in 2010, 11.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so he's still in that in the prime era. But
no, trust me. When the trade went down, I was like, damn, why the fuck are they trading for old ass Matt Stafford? And I looked at his age, and I'm like, wow, he's not that old.
But then again, Tom Brady also has changed the trajectory of how you can play longer if you take care of yourself and do all the things necessary to be great. But again, Tom Brady's
an anomaly.
Tom Brady also worships Satan, so I don't know.
Tom Brady's an anomaly. There will be one Tom Brady, and everyone else will try to do it, and then they'll be like, why is this guy hanging on for 7 years too long?
Breeze came close, somewhat. Anyway, so that's good. Like I said, we do this every week. We catch Mike, of course, on our other podcast, the Tate Wrestling Podcast. We're going to talk some wrestling this week. Can't wait. It is go home week, so should be fun. So, and Tate Wrestling with me, Mike, and Joe, and we're back next week with this power rankings. So we're doing this as a segment for this episode every Wednesday on the show. So, good job, man. Good job by you.
All right, buddy.
That's what's nice. My mixer doesn't work apparently, and you had to resort to old school way of doing podcasts here. I've used this recording in at least 5 or 6 years. I'm here, of course, with the man Zack Degenerate. Zach, what's up?
Just relishing in winning again.
Yeah, you won week 2 by a point, by a game, try to say. Rough week, I should be. So, tied week 1, you win week 2, week 3, we'll see what happens. Don't talk shit. You still got another 16 weeks to go.
Yeah, I mean, the way it worked tonight, clearly I'm going to win this week, so as long as I don't go with any of your picks.
All right, so let's get to these games quickly because I don't want this recording to fuck up because as you listeners know, it sounds different. It looks like stereo quality because we're doing it on the cell phone, unfortunately, because like I said, I have a little bit of mixer problems here. So let's go first to the first game on Thursday night. We have the Carolina Panthers heading to Houston to face the Texans. The Panthers are 7.5 point favorites. Under is 43 points. Houston without Tyrod Taylor this week due to a hamstring injury. Who the fuck are they starting this week?
David Mills.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, Stanford quarterback.
Never heard of him. My thing is, new quarterback, short week. Granted, it's in Houston. I'm taking kind of to cover the spread. And they're 2-0 for the record.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to take Carolina because there's so little tape on David Mills to say, you know what, I trust that he'll get it done with Houston. And then the other thing is, when a game opens at 3.5, and within one day it jumps this much, you know you have to just be on the side of Carolina. Just go with the money.
Right. I'm with you on that one. I'm definitely with you on that one. All right, next game here is your game. The Washington football team heads to Buffalo to face the Bills. The Bills are 8.5-point favorites. The over-under is 45.5. Football team came up with a win last week against my New York Giants. The Bills back on the winning track also too. They beat down, they said, the Miami Dolphins 35-0 here down here in Miami. Gotta be honest with you. I know a lot of people probably gonna think it's gonna be an under game. I even feel like I had the over this one. A lot of points in Buffalo. I know it's in Buffalo. I know they're back on the right track, but you know, I don't know. There's a lot of points in the NFL, and I'm learning now that some of these spreads, depending on the teams, these big like post multi-number spreads are very dangerous. I'm going to go say back to the over this one.
You know, I want to have the guts to be a homer since it's 10 points. But I'm with you. I know Buffalo held the Dolphins scoreless, but it was the Dolphins with a backup quarterback. So I'm going to go with you and just take the over.
They copy me now. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it was Dolphins. I was Dolphins ain't that good. So,
like I said, I wanted to have the guts to be a homer, but I just don't.
And for the record, Heineke was pretty good last week against the Giants. It wasn't that bad.
He had like one big play. Otherwise, I was falling asleep to all the dink and dunks.
Hey man, and also he won the game. What matters? I mean, we had one bad pick here in the end of the game, but it didn't really hurt him in the end. So.
And we should go over that because the Redskins tried to give the game away. I mean, I've never seen a team try harder to give a game away, and until I saw the Giants do the exact same thing.
Because the Giants are trash. I can say that because they're my team. All right, next game here we have the Chicago Bears heading to Cleveland to face the Browns. The Browns right now are 7-point favorites. The over-under is 46.5. Of course, the Browns back on the winning ways, beating Houston this week. Chicago looks like they have Justin Fields making his first start of his career. Gotta tell you, 7 points struck a lot. Like the first thing I thought was first year quarterback, first start in Cleveland against that defense. You know, to take the Browns to cover, but I don't know, man. The Browns were, the Browns were kind of like in that, the technical in that game last week of the Browns. And I haven't seen the Browns get comfortable this year. I feel like they can cover a big spread. I'm taking Chicago's points here.
See, it's a little tough for me because I thought Justin Fields should have gone number one overall. Mm-hmm. I thought the system was built for him to start in Jacksonville, sort of like what Arizona did with Kyle Murray. And that didn't go that way. And since I've seen him in Chicago, he has not looked good. And I think people need to be honest. While he's had some exciting plays, he has not looked good. And I know that Cleveland's going to be missing Landry now, but I think the team's built on a run game anyway, so I'm going to take Cleveland to cover.
Okay. I think that's our first disagreement of the session today, so we'll see how it goes. All right, next game here we have the Baltimore Ravens heading to Detroit to face the Lions. The Ravens right now are 7.5 point favorites. The over/under is 49.5. Of course, Baltimore win that huge win against Kansas City on Sunday Night Football. What a game. Detroit, of course, losing in Green Bay actually last night as I was recording. I really wanted to take Baltimore to cover the spread, but I got burned by San Francisco in Detroit 2 weeks ago. So I
Detroit almost did it again with the back door.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna take the safe bet here should be the over. Both these teams can score. That's clear here. I think the over here.
But you like an underdog, and I mean, you should go with the underdog if you feel that strongly.
I don't, because Baltimore, I think, should probably be 2-0, honestly. But I don't know. I feel like the over is a safe bet here. I'm gonna go over this one.
Yeah, I've got to do the same thing. Baltimore's defense has shown me nothing so far this season, so I feel like every game Baltimore is going to be in this year, it's probably safe to go over.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, next game here, we have the Indianapolis Colts heading to Tennessee to face the Titans. The Titans rather right now are 5-point favorites. The over/under is 48 points. Colts are 0-2 right now. Tough start to the year. And also have Carson Wentz, who is now spraining both his ankles. Tennessee with a big comeback in Seattle last week. I am surprised the spread's not a little higher just because of the Carson Wentz injury. I mean, I'm assuming they expect him to play. That being said, I think Tennessee gets their shit together here. I'm saying Tennessee to cover here.
And see, I had to go a safer bet for the simple fact I don't know if Carson Wentz will play. And if they have him on the field, the way in which Tennessee has played, the Colts will be in the game. So give me the over. Neither one knows how to play any defense right now.
Ooh. That's not a bad bet. That's not a bad bet. I don't know. We'll see. Indy's schedule's tough, man, and they had this Wentz injury. Oof, that's bad. This is a must-win for the Colts here, definitely. This could be the season here, to be honest with you. 0-2?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Especially if he can't go this week, or he tries to go and gets injured, but
yeah.
I'm hoping he can go, and they'll be able to at least score a few points.
Here's the thing. If you're the Colts, are you calling Cam Newton?
No.
Just cause?
Not with the style that Doug Peterson wants to run. I mean, why would you, or Mark Richt, why would you do that?
Right. Okay.
You have to have a passing quarterback.
Right. Okay. Just thing on the box second for the Colts. Things are tough right now in Indy. Anyway, next game here. This is gonna be a huge game. This is gonna be a great game here. LA Chargers heading to Kansas City to face the Chiefs. The Chiefs right now are 6.5 point favorites. The over/under is 56. I've been saying all along, these two teams, the last couple of years, have had some great battles. The Chargers always seem to play KC well. I actually think the Chargers game close. It would not even shock me if they won this game. But I think the safe bet here is the over. Give me the over.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because I'm still so pissed at Jerry Jones for paying off the refs, but Chargers should be 2-0.
I agree.
And honestly, I think the safe bet's really to go with the Chargers. I'll take the points.
The Chargers fucked my parlay last weekend.
Oh, they screwed my NFL parlay.
I had a 14 parlay, and the first three games hit. I hit on Tampa -12. I hit on the under on the Dolphins Bills game. I hit the over on the Rams Colts. So I'm sitting pretty. And then the Chargers score late in the game, go up by 4 points, and recovering, and then they pull back the points because of a illegal shift. So thanks, referees. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Have you ever seen them throw a flag where they take away a touchdown, and when the announcers review the play, they can't even point to where the illegal shit was. It was just so bad. They had a pass interference. They had it in the grass with the Herbert. The calls were just clearly to help Dallas stay in the game and to win the game in the end. It was terrible.
Yeah, that sucks. I hate
It looked like the WWE. It looked so rigged
so
by the
scripted.
time the game was over.
So scripted. All right, next game here we have the New Orleans Saints heading to New England to face the Patriots. The Pats right now are 2.5-point favorites. The over/under is 41.5. Saints came back to earth this week. Pats getting the win column finally. Which Saints team is real? The one from week 1 that blew up Green Bay, or the one that looked like shit against Carolina? I don't think either applies.
I think they're closer to the Carolina. And going on the road against a defense like Belichick, if they don't come out early, it's going to look just as bad as it did in Carolina.
Here's the Pats, man.
I'm going to take the Pats to cover.
I am too. I think Belichick's going to give Jameis a lot of fits.
Man, and he was flying so high. But that's what he does. He has one great game, starts feeling himself, and then forgets how to play for a couple of weeks.
But was he that bad, though? I look at his stats at the end. His stats don't look as bad as people make it out to be.
Just look at how the drives went the first 2 quarters, 3 quarters. You know, you pull up the game log, and it's like short, incomplete, or crap run, incomplete, 3rd and 10. You know, he just wasn't moving the ball to start with.
Right. Well, this is actually one of the more odd games of the weekend. Looking forward to watching, though. All right, next game here. The battle of the 2 teams in my bottom 3 this week, my power rankings. That is the Atlanta Falcons and the New York face the Giants. The Giants are 3-point favorites. The over/under is 48. This is obviously, this is obviously a pick 'em based on Vegas. Give me the over. I see both these offenses going crazy in this game. So both these teams suck.
Wait, which game are we on? I'm sorry.
Giants.
I had to go back and look at the Jameis Winston stats from last week.
Oh, no problem.
The guy had 100 yards passing.
Right.
Total.
One pick, right?
Oh, 100 yards passing. It's a 4-quarter game.
No, I get it. I get it.
All right, so what game are we on?
Giants, Falcons. Giants by 3-point favorites. Over under 48 points. I have the over.
Oh my God! Welcome to the 1-win club of the NFC East.
The Giants
Are you not already doing a celebration dance in your living room that
I don't trust
you
this
get
fucking.
to play Atlanta?
You know I don't trust this fucking team, bro. Come on. I'm not gonna try to play around with this one.
I'm sorry, Atlanta is so bad.
Oh, they are bad. I agree. But
Here's how bad you know they are. If for some reason you were to get upset in this game, you better start sweating 0-16 because you're getting the first pick in the draft.
that'd be cool.
I don't know. You wasted the number 2 pick on Saquon. You wasted a 6th pick overall on Daniel Jones. So I don't know about getting the number 1 overall pick anymore for you guys.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm in the camp of letting Saquon walk.
Yeah, I would too. But I think this week you should have been a homer.
So you think the Giants cover?
Taking the Giants to cover.
I don't know. You have to get my balls in my team than I do. Good job. I think they'll win the game, though, but I think the fair bet be over. That's all. All right. Next game here. The Cincinnati Bengals heading to Pittsburgh face the Steelers. The Steelers right now are 3.5-point favorites. The over/under is 43.5. This is actually a perception game here. Steelers lose to the Raiders this weekend. Look like crap doing it. Is Big Ben done? He looks done to me. He's supposed to be done. The Bengals still lost to Chicago, but they were in that game. That was a tough game. The Bengals are going to be a tough out this year. And I don't know. I like the under this game. I don't know who to pick. Look, the Bengals could win this game and win the shot meet. Safe bet here is taking the under.
And see, I'm going to take the over.
Really?
It may be a division rival, but, I mean, Steelers can't run the ball and milk the clock, so it's got to be a pass-happy offense for the Steelers. Mm-hmm. And you look at Cincinnati, and they're bombs away. It's going to be a huge hit, or it's going to be a 3-and-out with a punt. And then once you start thinking about that, what's going on with the Steelers? Is T.J. Watt going to be back on the field? Because they got a boat. They had like 3 straight hamstring injuries. Back to back to back. It was crazy.
He's got paid too.
Hey, hallelujah for that. But it's just hearing about that makes me think that you should go with the over. So a low number, injuries on defense, and another team that doesn't play defense. Screw it, give me the over.
All right. Next game here, the Arizona Cardinals heading to Jacksonville against the Jaguars. The Cardinals are 7.5 point favorites. The over/under could be 2. Zack, it's only 2 games of the year, but if the season ended today, and we had only the 2 games canceled to use, obviously, my MVP right now is Kyler Murray.
Oh, he's not even close to mine, but you go right ahead. Who do you beat? The Vikings? Ooh. And the reason why he's 2-0 is because a Viking kicker couldn't make a 37-yard kick. I mean, let's put that in perspective. He would be 1-1 and should be 1-1.
Probably. He's been good, though. He's been great.
Yeah. Again, another stat guy.
Anyway, I got the Cardinals covered
this week. Yeah. I would take an alternate line with Arizona and say -14. Like, that's how confident I am of Arizona and how much I will shit on Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence right now. Because that's bad.
So you're taking the Cardinals no matter what, no matter the number. I like that.
I don't know. I'm literally going to go buy a high number so I can give a better payout. Like, that's how much confidence I got.
You're going to tease up.
No, man. They got alternate lines. So that instead of paying like 110 on a -7.5, go 8.5 and get a +110. Go 9.5. Be crazy to make money. And this is one of those games, dude, Arizona is going to put a whooping on Jacksonville.
I believe so, too.
And you know what Urban Meyer's going to do? He's going to be looking over, dreaming about him at quarterback. He's like, if only I was allowed to draft a quarterback that fit my system.
Or is he looking at USC? Dreaming USC. Who knows? The worse the season goes for Urban Meyer, I'll spike more rumors about that. We'll see how that goes. All right.
He's about winning. He for him, there's no way he's going to take all those L's. He will come back until he wins. But I bet you he'll draft a quarterback next year.
You think so? Whoa, okay. All right, next game here. The New York Jets heading to Denver to face the Broncos. The Broncos rather are 10.5 point favorites. The over-under is 41 points. Jets 0-2, Broncos 2-0. Denver made my top 10 this week in my power rankings. They played 2 shit teams, but they beat both teams the way you're supposed to.
Exactly. And they get a third one to beat up even more.
Yeah. I mean, if And we said it over on this podcast back in August. Denver one of those radio teams this year. Denver looking at those teams at 8.5 wins and supposed to be better than we thought they were, and because of the schedule. And to their credit, so far they have done the thing they need to do. If you want to compete with KC, let alone a wild card, these are the games you're going to win. So I am taking. Hold on, let's blank for a second. I am taking Denver to cover 10.5 points. The Jets are fucking bad. They're terrible. Zach Wilson like shit last week. I don't think any better in Mile High in that altitude. Give me the Broncos to cover 10.5 points.
Yeah, that altitude with that pass rush, yeah, it's gonna be ugly. And I can't believe I'm gonna take Denver because I didn't think they'd be that good this year. But even at 10.5, yeah. I mean, you've got to take them. The Jets look terrible.
I'm with you. All right, you got the Miami Dolphins heading to Las Vegas to face the Raiders. The Raiders are 3.5 point favorites. The over/under is 45.5. Man, Miami, whew. Look, I like the Dolphins. They should be 0-2 right now.
Yeah. No, they're like the Cowboys. Both of them should be 0-2.
Yeah, we're gonna cover this in a second, but look, the Dolphins, they're in deep shit. I don't know where you are on Tua. I mean, he got hurt in that game, obviously, but yeah, this is a. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This might be a season-defining game for the Dolphins because given how competitive the AFC is right now, even take 7 teams, there was a lot of course correction going on this week. Baltimore got their shit in order this week and won't be KC. Denver's 2-0, could be 3-0 this week. You got a lot of teams right now that we didn't account for being playoff teams that might be in the picture now. So Miami wants to stay competitive, but at least being a wild card team, they gotta win this game. This is a must-win for the Dolphins, man, big time.
No, at this point, I don't even think if Tua is feeling healthy and feeling good for himself, would they be able to beat Las Vegas on the road? All right, and now you factor in that Tua hasn't had an amazing start to the season. Now he's got bruised ribs while he's out there playing for week 3 if he shows up, and that's the thing, if he shows up. I just don't know how a Dolphins fan can think they're going to win this game. You watch the Vegas manhandle Pittsburgh, and they kept their composure and stayed in the game and beat Baltimore. And now you're going to that after a 35-0 ass whooping? Come on. It's not a defining game. A defining game is when freaking Tua's back healthy and he plays a team that he should be able to beat and he puts up 30 points on them. That'll be a defining game.
Derek Carr is fantastic.
Derek Carr's a better MVP candidate right now than
my three guys are Kyler Murray, Derek Carr, and Tom Brady right now. My MVPs. I mentioned that.
I think Tom Brady has to get it.
Yeah. In any case, give me Vegas here to cover. I think they're for real. I'm very impressed with so far 2 weeks in. You beat Baltimore on Monday Night Football, and then a short week go to Pittsburgh and win in Pittsburgh. I know it's not that good anymore, but still, that's a tough win. Still, that's a big win. So give me Raiders here to continue the winning ways and the cover. All right, we have the game of the week. Obviously. Oh, good. Yeah. Okay, game of the week here, of course. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading to LA to face the Rams. Right now, the Bucs are 1 point favorites. The over/under is 55.5. Call me crazy here, but I'd be under here.
No chance of an under. And since you like the under, instead of taking a team, I'm going to go direct opposite and take the over. You got Tampa Bay, who can't stop it. They gave up 25 to Atlanta. They gave up, 29 to Dallas? they can't stop anyone. And now you're going to bring in an offense like the Rams? Ooh, give me the over. This is probably the one for the win for the week.
This is also your NFC title preview, at least in my opinion.
Oh, it is. If it's not Tampa and the Rams, it's Green Bay and the Rams.
Could be. Green Bay got a shit load last night. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so we go opposite on this one. Okay. This is an interesting game here, this one. I'm actually look forward to this game especially. The Seattle Seahawks sends to Minnesota against the Vikings. Right now the Seahawks are 2-point favorites. The over-under is 55. Seahawks with a terrible loss at home against Tennessee after blowing that big lead. Minnesota should have won their first game. Oh, the second game rather. Probably should have won the first game too as well. They've been kind of weird. I'll be honest with you. I like the Vikings here to win this game outright.
Woo!
Tough feeling, buddy.
So to be clear, you're going on a team that almost won a game on a meltdown, but missed a 37-yarder and had their own meltdown over Seattle, to literally play a team most of us would put in the playoffs this coming year.
Right.
No. Come on, man. Seattle is going to burn them. Burn them.
In Minnesota?
Yeah. They're on turf. I mean, come on. Russell Wilson's going to crush this team.
I'm getting to the point now with Seattle where I'm not trusting. I trust Russell Wilson, but their team I don't necessarily trust as much anymore. And that game with Tennessee is kind of an example of that.
The only thing that gives Minnesota any hope is that everybody in the world will be watching the Tampa Bay game. Because otherwise, this game would be the primetime game at 4 o'clock, and then it would be a guaranteed loss.
Kirk Cousins is able to hide behind those games. Yeah, that's okay. Kirk Cousins will be on focus. So definitely will chance for the game.
Right.
It's a big game for the Vikings. It's a big game for them though. All right, next game here we have this is actually a Sunday game here. The Green Bay Packers heading to San Francisco face the Niners. The Niners right now are 3.5-point favorites. The over/under is 50. Packers back on track after the big win against Detroit on Monday Night Football. The Niners 2-0 with another sloppy-ish win against the Eagles. Want to hear a story real quick though about fantasy football? I was up 71 points heading into Monday night game against my opponent. We were done for the week, of course. He still had Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Guess how that played out.
Damn,
I lost by 1 point, obviously. So, yeah.
Oh, only by one. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was kind of respectable because I'd have given up before this game even started.
Yeah, I mean, when you score 4 touchdowns and rushing for 4 touchdowns, I mean, nothing about that. So.
And that was the thing. It was like Aaron Rodgers wanted to say, hey, look, I need my touchdowns, and I know you need your touchdowns, so instead of you running them in, let me just throw you a touchdown.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go under here. This is San Francisco's first game at home. I don't know how good they are still. I mean, obviously the Detroit game was weird because they were up big and then they almost blew the game and it cost you money. And then last week in Philadelphia, it was pretty much a battle. Green Bay's kind of back, I guess, right? I'm assuming they're back. Yeah. I guess I can see the under here play.
I'm with you, and it's more the fact that San Fran's offense has been way underwhelming. Way underwhelming.
Yeah.
And so when I see a point total like that, if I think Green Bay can carry that point total, it's because of it's a blowout. It's not because it's a back and forth game.
Right.
If it's back and forth, it's got to be an
Monday Night Football. I know you and I will be watching this game because it's NFC East implications. The Philadelphia Eagles heading to Dallas face the Cowboys. The Cowboys are 4-point favorites. The over-under is 52. Like I said, Eagles lost the first game this week against San Francisco. Dallas 1-1 now. You can argue 2-0 should be 2-0. That type of game that they picked up one week one.
I think you can argue they should be 0-2.
You can argue both sides. You can argue both sides.
When you leave a minute and a half on a clock with Tom Brady, that's a loss. You lost the game because of clock management. You almost lost the game again because of clock management, but that would have taken overtime. You paid off the fucking rats. I'm sorry. I want the Department of Justice to investigate this. It was so blatantly bad.
Funny. Department of Justice. I'll be honest with you.
I'm sorry. Game fixing now that sports gambling's legal everywhere. Game fixing like that shit, that's got to go.
Yeah. And again, they fucked me. I told you the Chargers fucked me. That's like that. This is the game that Chargers and Cowboys.
Chargers fucked you. The rest fucked you. Jerry Jones fucked you.
I was getting a couple across the way. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I have the Cowboys winning this game, covering this game. I think this game will be a fairly, if not a blowout, something close to one. I feel about Dallas win this game and comfortably.
Well, from my recollection, I've had to go against you a few times, so I know I'm gonna have to be up a few games already. So I'm gonna throw you a bone. Philly will win outright.
Wow.
Yes, I'm taking Philly.
Wow. This fucking guy.
I'm sorry, but if not for the refs, Dallas would have given up another 30 points. When you think back to all the bullshit penalties that were called against the Chargers, they would have put up another 30. All right, Cowboys defense still is garbage, and it's going to show up this week.
Right. Well, we shall see. It should be a fun game. Looking forward to watching.
Can we talk about Mike Norville needing to be fired yet?
I was just getting there. I was going to get there. Yeah. Here's the problem. You already bought out Willie Taggart. I think it was like $18 million. Norville's only in the second year. Yeah. We're stuck with him for another year at least. Unless shit really shits the bed next couple of weeks. Next rest of the year, should I say. I don't know. FSU, this is I've never.
Does that extra $1 million you didn't want to pay to Jimbo seem smart now?
Oh my God! In hindsight, yeah. In hindsight, look. But to be honest, they were already falling apart even with Jimbo. So is this really Jimbo?
They were falling apart because Jimbo wanted money and he was trying to prove a point.
Right. Okay. Well, in any case, it's a presence of varsity football at this point. We went from like 3 weeks ago saying, oh, well, Notre Dame, we almost beat them, and so it's kind of like a nice little, a good loss to have. And now then these last 2 weeks, it's like, yeah, this team is just fucking garbage.
I mean, at this point, I honestly don't know who we could look at and say, well, I think Florida State's going to win this game. Like, we're going to dominate in this game.
Yeah. Pretty sad shit.
Would it be NC State? Because that's what to me it looks like. That's the only game left practically that we could say we're going to dominate. Because I can't even trust the FCS games. Because apparently we don't want to show up and actually blow out a team anymore. We would rather keep it close and then lose.
It's pretty depressing, my friend. It really is.
It is.
One more thing for us to get out here. Your thoughts on the recalls last week? I know we discussed a little bit, going into election night. Newsom will keep the seat.
Yeah. Look, the more important things that are going on right now are whether or not progressive Democrats stick to their ground and say, you either give us our $3.5 trillion deal, or we're not going to give you even your bipartisan deal. Like, that's what it has to come down to. And then, if both of those fail, which I think progressives almost should intentionally sink it now, you have Roe v. Wade about to get overturned. I say no infrastructure, you take away the child tax cut, you take away kindergarten and pre-K and all that other stuff for parents. I think Republicans get fucked in the November 2022 elections.
I'll tell you what, though, and obviously we're still like 13 months away from the midterms, but this next year is going to be interesting. Cause you mentioned in the last podcast about the possibility, because I remember I was saying that the optics are like, well, Republicans could take control of the have a well in the midterms next year. But then you said the thing about the thing in Texas could be the inflection point for Democrats to really find a way to.
It's not even Texas now. I mean, the case they're bringing up is the one from Mississippi,
right?
Where, apparently it's okay to still have vigilantes, but 15 weeks is too much. 6 weeks is okay to become a vigilante and outlaw, but the 15-week one was the one that they decided, you know what, that's the one we're going to hear. So you can tell it's all bullshit anyways, but man, I actually hooked all 7 of these Catholics because it's amazing. 9 people on a court, 7 of them are Catholic. And you know what? What is it? Catholics make up 10% of our population. It's one of the smallest denominations for Christianity, basically, in our country.
Yeah. Okay. Here, I'm not surprised Newsom won though, but real quick, but I am surprised at the margin he won. But then again, I feel like Democrats came home, the ones that maybe were considering voting for the recall, realized that what the other option was. And let's just make sure we keep Newsom in the power, at least for another.
Well, no, as soon as they realized that all it took was 50.1% of the vote voting to recall him, and you're going to be stuck with a nut job Republican, whether it had been him or Caitlyn Jenner or some other messed up fuck. They realized, oh wait, someone with only 49.9%, and it wouldn't be that, it'd be more like 12% was going to get the vote and get to dictate what happens in our state. That's why Democrats got out and voted.
Right. That's a good point.
And Elder put the thing out. He was going to take away a Democratic senator. So you were going to have a state with 2 Republican senators. No, that wasn't ever going to happen.
Well, let's say we'll discuss that obviously in the months and the year to come. But like I said, we'll look at any fix. Like I said, sorry we had to do it like this episode on the cell phones instead of in my studio. Better to get the content out than not have it at all, right?
Absolutely.
So anyway, buddy, we'll talk soon. Good job as always. Good luck, and I will win week 3. I guarantee that.
All right, yeah. I think I threw enough games to try and keep you in it.
All right, Zach. Take it easy, man.
Later.